Hey guys, this past Easter Sunday, my friend who plays the piano some for his church asked me about creating some mood music for the service, going from a more somber mood to a more happy mood. And so I went over to his house. He has a real nice grand piano, and we worked on it a little bit, and we experimented with some different things. And one of the songs we played was Nadia's Theme, which has some real nice dissonance, some tension and resolution. It goes. Okay, so we have the tension that is headed towards A minor, and it's just raising that bottom note up one. So you have a half step here, and then a third, and then you go to the minor, and then it drops down to this chord, which leads into a G major. Now the dissonant chord is a whole step instead of the half step in this case. And then it drops to here. We're going to the F major, and again, the dissonance is a whole step. And then it drops to here, which is going to the E minor, so the dissonance is a half step again. Okay, so that's one example, and you can tell the mood, you can experience the mood that it puts you in. It makes you feel like you're kind of floating a little bit, and then it's progressing down the keyboard. It's just a really neat tension and release effect. Now, another one we explored is Prelude in C major, which it goes like this. Okay, and so on. About halfway down the page, it does this, has some real nice tension and release. And then it resolves. Goes into a diminished chord, tension and release, but I'm going to skip ahead to another spot right here where it's a C. Okay, now notice what Bach does there. We've got a dominant seventh, and he just drops his bottom two fingers and comes up with some dissonance that creates some tension, and it's a major seventh, F major seventh. And then he does some more tension, which is a diminished. Now watch this. He goes from one kind of tension to another. And that's that same Nadia's Theme kind of tension where you got the half step. And then a different kind of tension. And it resolves to the G seventh. Then back to the C. And so on. But that's some really beautiful use of tension and release. One last piece I'll go through is Chopin's Prelude number 20 in C minor, and it goes. Okay, did you notice there? We have our first bit of tension and dissonance right there. It should be a G seventh chord, but he takes the melody and the harmony voice up a half step and a whole step, up the scale just a little bit to create some beautiful tension. Okay, and then does the same thing. This should be an E flat 7th, and he takes the upper two voices up a bit, and it creates some really pretty tension because you've got a C sharp and a C, so that's half step tension right there. See? And then it resolves to the A flat, and then G, C 7th, and then right into some more tension. Notice that type of tension? It's an F minor, but the melody is on a G. So we have this half step tension again. I missed it. There it is. Okay, and there's again some half step tension. You've got. Okay, and then this sounds gorgeous, this next part. I would have never in 100 years thought of that. It just sounds beautiful. Oh my goodness, it's just brilliant. And then, now listen to this chord. Boy, there's some dissonance, beautiful dissonance. What is that? Okay, it's a D7th with a flatted 5th. This would be the 5th, and we flat it and put it in the bass instead. There's your dissonance again, and I've got not half-step dissonance, but it's dissonance nonetheless because your G7th is here. Isn't that just beautiful? Anyway, I don't know a lot of this stuff yet, but that's some of the things I know. Oh, and there's one more. Because he lives. Okay. Okay, this is just a sus chord, okay? So instead of, which would be just strict harmony, instead of that, we go. Okay, so what are we doing? Instead of doing the straight F7th, we're doing a sus. What are we sussing? We're suspending the 3rd of the F7th. And then we repeat, okay? So there's another example. I hope that's interesting to you.